Hi everyone, in this session we shall be discussing on how to manage TCS in Genesis, which is applicable on sale of goods. Prerequisite to this video is that you watch the basics of TCS. The link to that video is mentioned in the description. In this session we have demonstrated the mapping as per the current practices prevailing in the market. You should consult with your tax consultant before implementing any of the solutions shown here. So the very first option we shall be discussing here is to create debit journal on receipt. So what will be the steps to follow while doing a receipt entry? The first step will be to check the total receipts from the customer, whether it is exceeding 50 lakhs or not. If the total receipts, including the one which we are receiving right now, exceeds 50 lakhs, then we need to collect TCS on the amount getting received. So for that, we need to create a debit note, and the step 3 will be receive the amount in the AR voucher. We'll see how to do that in the system. Let's first understand the case and then we'll see how can we process the same while receiving the amount. So I have a customer named Siddharth Enterprises and the total payment received from that customer is 55 lakhs in this financial year. I have checked this 55 lakhs using the subledger detail report. You can check via subledger detail as well as the receipt register. Now the new invoice which I have raised is 5 lakhs plus GST of 12%, that is 5,60,000. TCS is not charged on the invoice. Now let's have a look on the invoice. See, this is the invoice where 5 lakh is the value and there is a 6% SGST and 6% CGST which totals to 5,60,000. We have not charged TCS in this invoice. However, we have notified in the note that TCS is applicable over and above the invoice net amount at the rate of 0.075% if more than 50 lakh payment is done in a financial year. Kindly make the payment accordingly. So you can change the note as well if required. I have placed this note in the footer of this document report template. You can also do the same. Now once we receive the payment, there can be two scenarios. Scenario 1 can be that the payment which we receive, the customer has sent us the TCS amount additional to the invoice amount. That is, the invoice amount was of 5,60,000 and the party has remitted us 5,60,420, 420 being the TCS amount. Now let's see how we can record this in our system. So what I'll do is I'll go to the finance module. In the journal, I'll go to the debit journal. As you can see, I've created a new scheme, TCS collection. I have created this scheme so that I can segregate the TCS collection from the normal regular debit notes. So I select the TCS collection numbering scheme. Now I select the party. I've created a general ledger named TCS collected on receipt under liability and I have specified the amount here. In the reference, we should capture the applicable amount, segregate with a colon or pipe. This will help us in return filing where we can easily segregate the data between the separators. We specify the applicable rate and then we specify the TCS amount. So you can save this. Debit note number, this implies that we have collected TCS from this party of 420 rupees. So now we go to the AR voucher. We select the bank. We select the party from whom we are receiving the payment. We specify the receive amount. Go to adjust. We first select the TCS debit note and then we select the invoice. So the entire amount gets adjusted and the ledger balance gets 0 for the party. So this is how we need to do an entry if we are receiving the TCS amount over and above the invoice amount. Now the other scenario can be that the party does not remit us the TCS amount and just pays us invoice net amount, that is 5,60,000. Now let's see how to do that. For this we need to calculate the TCS amount which is inclusive of the 5,60,000 which we have received from the party. You can calculate the same using calculator. However, I found this Excel in the Google. On specifying the receipt amount, it specifies the TCS amount which we need to debit the customer and the TCS applicable amount. So in our case, if we have received 5,60,000, so it specifies us that 420 will be the debit note amount and the TCS applicable amount will be 5 lakh 59,580. So let's go back to the debit journal and record the same. I'm back in the debit journal. I have selected the TCS collection numbering scheme. I have selected the party. I am selecting TCS collected on receipt ledger. This is our liability ledger. I specify the 420 amount. We need to specify the applicable amount, that is 5,59,580 rate and TCS amount, and save this transaction. So now let's go to the AR voucher and do the receipt transaction. I select the bank, I select the subledger, and 5,60,000 is the receipt amount. In the adjust, we shall first adjust the TCS collected and then we shall adjust the invoice. So the invoice will get partially adjusted and the remaining value of 420 will remain pending and it will be shown in the bill wise outstanding report of the customer. So you can now save the transaction, and this is how you can do the receipt. Now before we move to option 2, let's first understand the pros and cons of the option 1. The first pro is that accounting for TCS liability takes place on receipt, that is, as and when the TCS amount gets collected from the customer or the buyer. The second pro is that payment and return filing of the TCS collected gets smooth, as the entire ledger amount needs to be squared off during payment. That is, whatever amount showing up in the ledger needs to be paid to the government, and accordingly you can file the returns. Now let's discuss on some of its cons. There's a manual check at the time of receipt that we need to find out whether the customer has exceeded 50 lakh payment or not. The second con is that buyer does not get the clear understanding on the amount that he needs to remit. However, in invoice, as shown earlier in the video, we have specified a note. You can also specify a note in the invoice. Now let's move on to the option 2, that is charge in sales invoice. So the steps for charging in sales invoice are that you first need to create a TCS charge, identify the customers who are eligible for making a TCS payment, change the customer's term as per the applicability, and then prepare a sales invoice. Now let's see how we do that in the system. Let's go to SND, setup, charge. As you can see, I've already created a TCS charge and I have specified the TCS collected on receipt ledger here. You need to create this charge for the whole document, and the applicable percentage right now is 0.075%. You need to save this charge. You need to go to the term master, change the term and need to specify the TCS charge. The important note here is that this is only for demonstration purpose, and you need to change the terms which belongs to the respective customers who are eligible for TCS, or you would have to create a new term with TCS and tag that to the customers. I already have a delivery challan created for this customer. So now let's prepare the sales invoice. I'll go and select the challan. I'll have to calculate the charge. As you can see, 0.75% on 5,60,000 is shown in the TCS charge of 420, and you can save this transaction. So this is the invoice printout format. As you can see, the TCS amount gets added in the invoice and the invoice value gets changed to 5,60,420. Now let's understand some of the pros and cons if we go by this option. The pros are, number one, that is the buyer gets notified properly on the total amount that needs to be paid, and the debtor accounting is done as soon as the invoice is booked. The second pro is that you can configure the customer's term master accordingly, and the TCS gets charged on the invoice automatically, and the user does not have to check at the time of receipt. Now let's discuss some of its cons. The TCS amount will get reflected in the GST returns, e-invoice and e-way bill generated. In case of e-invoice and e-way bill, the amount will be shown in the other charges column, and in case of GST return, it will be reflecting in the invoice net value. It is important to note here that the TCS is related to direct taxation and might not be required to be reported into GST filings. The second big con is that you need to do a reconciliation while filing TCS returns. Reason being, as soon as the invoice is getting created, the TCS liability is getting booked. But payment for TCS to the government and the TCS return filing needs to be done on collection basis. TCS is not on accrual basis, it's on realization basis. So you need to RECO and finalize the TCS returns by identifying the payments received during that return filing period. Again, this is related to the second point, that is, in case you receive the partial amount against any invoice. For example, we have created invoice of 5,60,000 and you receive part payment of 2 lakh rupees. So how will you understand whether the TCS amount has been recovered or not? This is also one thing which needs to be addressed. Another con is that you need to handle the goods return flow manually. For example, suppose an invoice is issued and TCS is booked and TCS is already paid to the government. You will have to manually track that while doing the sales return. TCS should not be reversed in such cases. So in case of sales return, you'll have to manually remove the header charge of TCS in such cases. There's another con of that advance received is not getting handled in this option. That is, while receiving any advance, you have to collect the TCS on whatever amount getting received as advance. So you'll have to follow the debit note route way in this case. Another case is that TCS is applicable on old invoices which were issued prior to the applicable date, that is 1st October 2020. So for receiving payments for old invoices as well, you will have to follow the debit note route way. So now let's discuss a bit on the purchase flow. Similar to the S&D flow, supplier also have two options. They might charge you on the invoice, they might give you a separate debit note. As per the supplier's working, you can either show it in the purchase invoice or else you can create a debit note. So for credit note flow, you need to create a separate credit note series similar to what I created for debit notes. TCS ledger name should be TCS paid on purchase under assets. In case of sales, we created TCS collected on receipt under liability. For invoice flow, create a TCS charge in purchase charges and add this TCS charge in respective applicable terms. Again, it is important to note here that if you are having single term for multiple suppliers and some suppliers are charging on bill and some are not, then you have to create two separate terms similar to the S&D flow. So thank you. We'll again request you to consult with your tax consultants before implementing any of the solutions we have demonstrated here. Both the solutions have their pros and cons. Please choose wisely. Thank you.